All righty. We are going to get started. Like we always start on time. It's almost 100 of you here now. So let us introduce ourselves. Who are we?
Retire in Panama Tours. As
The
per
best
the shirts.
and the real retire in Panama. I'll tell you that. Let's start ladies first.
Me first?
Yes, always ladies first.
I'm Megan. I'm originally from outside of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I graduated from Penn State and immediately went into the Peace Corps. Happened to get placed here in beautiful Panama and absolutely fell in love with the country. Got to do a lot of traveling around the country, got to learn Spanish about Panamanian culture, and ended up staying here and joining on with Rod and Oscar. So now I handle a lot of the logistics and operations on tour, and I'm going on tours with Oscar too. So I get to meet all of you guys that decide to come on tour with us.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
And many of you have probably seen Megan Thompson in the news. She was featured in a press release a couple of weeks ago in her local newspaper as one woman of distinction. So
she did
in my local newspaper,
proud.
Very proud.
Very proud indeed. Yes. Roddy.
Me. My name's Rod Larrabee. I moved here 10 and a half years ago from Vancouver, Canada. Go Canada's, all us Canadians here. I was looking for something different. I won't go into my story here, but I moved to Panama. I was still working. I was in my mid-40s when I moved here. And I was still in my income producing years. And I was doing some other business. I met Oscar within the first year. We became good friends. We started doing business together. And our goal has always been to help expats move to Panama without screwing it up. I kind of screwed it up myself when I moved here. I got into a bit of trouble. And that is kind of the theme that you guys, most of you signed up through one of our websites or through our emails, and how to not get scammed in Panama. And many people just try to do it themselves, and they meet the wrong people, unfortunately. And we're going to talk about the different areas from immigration to real estate and rentals to healthcare, about how to protect yourself and what you need to know. And basically, over the last 10 years, we started doing local tours and helping expats. We've been doing group tours now for several years. And this, Q&A is not about just us selling you something. You don't need to leave your credit card here. You can if you want, but you don't need to. But we are here to answer your questions, to honestly give you advice. We are, as many of you know, and I'm going to throw this in here now, Oscar, we are sold out of our tours for the next year. And many of you guys have been emailing and phoning us. We want to come. We want to come. So the most popular time was the summer. So we're going to, around 8 o'clock tonight, announce a new tour. You guys will be the first chance to book it, because as you know, that we only do 12 people per tour, so it could even sell out tonight.
And probably will be the last one also in the year.
Yeah, it might be the last one we'll be able to do this year, because we are pretty busy otherwise.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's who I am. And who are you?
I'm Oscar. Hello, everybody. Thank you again for each one of you to be here, spending your time, investing your time with us, because it's an investment. I am Oscar Peña. I'm originally from Cali, Colombia. I left Colombia in 2006, went to Costa Rica first, and I was involved in the hotel and tourism industry. I developed a tremendous passion for tourism, for hospitality, and also I'm passionate about facilitate. That's why I found opportunity getting involved with the expat relocation services and facilitator services here in Boquete. Back in 2011, I created my small company. It was called Mucho Gusto Panama. And then I started moving forward with Rod, and we became just doing another company until we finally created Retire in Panama, where we have a little bit better operation, a bigger operation, but keeping the same model that I was passionate to learn to work back in Costa Rica, studying, and that is about personal customized service. That's why our model is only between 8 to 12 people, no more than that. We don't like to run cattle. No, God doesn't go with us. So we like to know your name. We don't need to give you a tag in your name because we want to call you by your name without looking at your t-shirt. That's what we like to do. And because in the end, maybe the day after the tour, you guys might be my neighbor. So that'll be a beautiful thing to happen. So I've been involved in tourism. I've been involved in the civil defense of Panama with many projects in the community. I've been here in Boquete almost 13 years. So I have a background in mechanics back in Colombia. I have a background in restaurants. I have a background in hotels industry. So that's what it makes me very prepared to do the tour I do or the job I do with this company. So this is Wayne.
Okay.
Good.
Alrighty. So again, we are Retired Panama Tours. We offer monthly tours to Panama. We offer a la carte type services. If you need help with your pets, you're buying a car, doing all stuff like that. But most of the thing we offer is just advice to people. And we do these Q&As. We've been doing them now. It's going to be coming 3 years.
If you're looking for a reliable contact for something specific here in the country, feel free to reach out.
Yeah, we are here. Can you type in the chat to everyone, Megan, our website address, just so they can hit the contact button? We will answer, whether you're coming on a tour with us or not, we will answer your emails. And we're not going to charge you for it. If you want to be connected with somebody reputable, we have been dealing with real estate agents, immigration lawyers, insurance people for 10 years now. So it's definitely, we know the people. Rentals. If you want a rental in Coronado, if you want a rental in
Azuero
or Boquete, try to stay off Craigslist. Not really the place to get rentals. You can get
it's a huge gamble.
Trouble there.
Yeah, it's a huge gamble.
So we are inviting on our tour, on our call here. We're inviting on Mike Petovich. Mike, are you coming shortly?
We need to put AA4 in that chair, by the way.
Oh, is my chair squeaking?
A little bit.
Yeah, we're just waiting for Mike to join us on the video here, Mike. I can't see your name. If you want to type something in the chat for me, Mike, that would be wonderful.
We have some Q&A.
Yeah.
Just questions.
All right.
Okay. Sorry, guys. We knew this was going to be a technical night with starting a brand new platform. So I've already accepted Mike. He should be coming live with us shortly. Mike, are you there?
Should I get quick this?
Yeah. Yeah, no. Can you type something in the chat for me, Mike? So I can re-invite you. Just say hello in the chat. Is all I need from you. Okay. We're still waiting on Mike here. Give us a second, guys.
Mikey.
If you've been on before, you might remember Mike, owner of Inside Panama Real Estate.
Yeah.
Worked in real estate for years and is going to talk to us about some things to look out for.
That's okay because we have a lot of things to cover, so we can even go over to another topic of the conversation. Meanwhile, maybe he's having some technical issues right now.
Okay. Yeah, he might be. Okay. So first of all, we're going to talk about how the Q&A portion is going to go. Do not put your questions in the chat. Put them in the Q&A, which is right next to the chat. So you just click on Q&A beside the chat. The chat is to say where you're from, hello, and if you're chatting with someone else in the group here. Q&A is where the questions that we're going to ask. If you want to ask your question, you can click on the request to speak, and when it's your turn, we will let you know, and then you can come on and speak with us. But
hey, Vicky.
one area, watch for Mike's chat. And then,
I will.
And then re-invite him. We're just waiting for Mike to type something in the chat so we can re-invite him to speak. But rentals and real estate, what really is the number one thing? Okay.
What's that?
No.
No, he's just.
Okay. Mike's had a computer failure, unfortunately. Hey, it happens.
It happens.
But if you can get out of that spot, Mike, and get back to the Q&A, just refresh your screen and then type something in the chat. We'll try it a second time here as I start talking about the rentals and real estate stuff. So when you move here, what do you need to do? What are the two most important things?
Book a ticket.
No, once you're here.
Finding a place to live.
Finding a place to live
and immigration.
Like
what are you going to do? Like you have to live, so you need a roof over your head, and you have to become legal here. So
the right thing to do.
Yeah. So there it is. Okay. Mike's having a little audio video. Mike, we can do your portion a bit later. You might have to restart your computer or something. I don't really have an answer for you right now. I want to introduce you to everybody on here. Mike's got a free gift for us too, a beautiful 80-page relocation guide.
Can we try inviting him on?
Where he has no video and no audio.
Well, he says I can see and hear you.
No. Okay.
So.
Okay. Well, you should have gotten a second invite, Mike. But yeah. So how do you find a place to rent? There's Craigslist. Remember, that's what I did. I went to Craigslist and I sent some total stranger an $800 deposit that I've never met before. I arrived here and I was lucky. Now, I've heard different stories about people. Panama City is really bad for this too. That people arrive at their location after they've sent the deposit by Western Union, and they arrive there with 3 or 4 other people who have done the same thing, because there is actually no rental. It's a scammer, and these scammers live on social media, folks. So be very, very careful out there. You need, first of all, for rentals, you need a rentals broker. Now, stories you've heard, the cost is going to be so much more. They just don't make sense. They just don't pan out. Even if the cost is $50 more, even if it was, who cares if you're going to be protected?
What you're paying is for protection, what you're paying is for value, what you're paying is for safety. So even though if it's for a percentage, which normally it's not, because whatever a renter pays to the agent is in their part, doesn't affect the price of the person who's gonna do the rental.
No, because the owner is the one who pays the agent.
Exactly.
If that was true, there would be people like Martha, Mike's wife, who owns Inside Panama Property Managers, who manages between 50 and 100 properties in the Coronado Beaches area. She wouldn't be in business 13 years later if she was ripping people off.
Exactly. Most reputable agents are only going to rent you quality places.
So until you hear your second, third, or fourth rental, maybe you'll be brave enough to go on Facebook or stop by the side of the road when you see a for rent sign and just rent from a total stranger. But if you're going to move here, get connected. We have those connections for you. All you got to do is send us an email and ask, and we will connect you personally with a rentals broker for the area that you're looking to move to.
Yeah, because even with some people that we know personally, sometimes when you're looking for the rental, we understand that most people will be on budget, right? Mm-hmm. But sometimes what is less affordable, what is cheap, turns out being more expensive, because turns out the place, it's just the great pictures when you show up.
Oh yeah, the pictures were taken 10 years ago.
Yes, so you need somebody actually to have the reliability, they have the experience, somebody they built up a reputation enough for you to, okay, this is the place actually I'm getting for what I'm paying, that I'm gonna book for 6 months or 3 months or a year, I don't know, but you're gonna get what you're paying for. And there is so many horrible stories that people book a place, and not just on Craigslist, not just on Facebook, but also on Airbnb. It happens. Yeah. It really happens. Mm-hmm. So always double check and try to make those moves very carefully. And check the reviews.
When you're buying a home, same things too. It really isn't much different than the U.S. people. Find yourself a realtor you trust. You can build that relationship over the phone. You can check to make sure that they are part of the Panama MLS. And for those of you that have been told that there is no Panama MLS, please Google Panama MLS. And you'll find their site, Akabar MLS. You'll find all the agents and companies that are part of that group that are there to protect you. So find yourself an agent. Don't go from agency to agency to agent to real estate agent and say, hey, I want you to show me this house. I want you to show me this house. Find yourself an agent, work with them. And they should be able to, if they won't show you other people's properties, find a different agent. Like they're there, just like in the States, to protect you.
Yes.
And then when you do find a place, find a lawyer. Don't use the seller's lawyer, or don't use the developer's lawyer. Find a lawyer, your own lawyer, that you can trust, that you can work with, and protect yourself. There's people out there selling ROP property, right of possession property. It's dangerous. I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm saying you need a really good lawyer and about 4 months of due diligence to make sure that property is actually going to be in your name one day. It's very, very difficult. Same as, is the title clean? Is there any liens on the property? Like, don't trust the seller's lawyer to tell you the truth there. That's all there is to it. It's not the Wild West here anymore. Like I said, we have an MLS. We have since 2017. So the agents telling you there is none, or I don't know why anyone would, any other relocation experts would tell you there is none. But yeah, okay.
Hello, Michael.
Michael restarted his computer.
It's a miracle.
Boom.
From Inside Panama Real Estate. We've been dealing with Michael for many, many years. Now I'm going to do the introduction, Michael.
We need to have an air horn to do something important like something like that.
Why we use them is they have offices all over Panama. They do both rentals and real estate in different offices, meaning your rentals agent's not a realtor, so they're not trying to sell you something. They're trying to find you the perfect rental. And the real estate agents are really real estate agents. So, we really like that of the company. So, Michael, as I had said before, you could probably explain it better for me. If someone is purchasing a property, how different is it here than it is back in the USA?
Well, first and foremost, it takes a lot longer here, as we all know.
Yeah.
And it really is buyer beware environment. So you really need to quantify and check virtually everything, and then check it again, and maybe even check it again. I heard you mention a lawyer. You absolutely want to have your own lawyer, not be coerced into working with the seller's lawyer, as you said, or the developer's lawyer. And like I say, really, it just takes a lot longer. There's no inspection companies per se. So if you want to do an inspection of the property first, hopefully your realtor will be able to steer you to a general contractor in lieu of an inspection company that you might be used to in North America.
Mm-hmm. How, Michael, is the money different here? Like, let's say I'm the buyer. I found a home. You sold me a home. It's worth $200,000. I'm ready to pay for it. How does that happen? How does that different here than it does back in the U.S.? Because I keep hearing these scary stories about, oh, you're going to keep $30,000 of my money because it's a net listing, and you're only going to give like I don't see that happen. Like from the people I've talked to and the deals that I've been involved with, the money transfer is basically the same. Like you transfer the money from the seller to the owner, and or for the seller to an escrow.
It's a little bit different in as much as, again, in North America, you would typically deposit money into escrow. Here, here they don't really have escrow like we're used to. There are a couple of banks that offer it, but if you're not a customer of the bank, well, then it's not available. So the way that it would work here is the money typically will sit with one of the two attorneys, the buyer's attorneys or the seller's attorney. With our firm, we actually try to hold on to the money and be the custodian of the initial deposit. We feel it's safer for our buyers if we're holding on to the money, so there's no litigation, there's no hassles in the event there's a dispute and you want your money back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. Tell us a little bit about Inside Panama. Like, do you have any history in real estate? Like, what have you been doing the last, you must be 50 now, 50 years of your life.
Thank you. It's very kind of you. I've been in the real estate and mortgage business. This is my 37th year. I did 25 years in San Diego. And when I came to Panama, I spent a couple of years doing research. I literally lived in a van for a couple of years and toured around the country, around and around, and launched a real estate company in 2010. I currently have 5 locations that we serve. Pretty much anywhere that you'd want to be, we're there. We're not yet in Pedesy, but we're working on that right now. And that's pretty much it. Any place that's worthy of being in Panama, we've got you covered.
Beautiful.
Great. So if I want to buy a house in Panama, should, I see this happen all the time. Should I just find one realtor? Like if I phone up, let's say your gal, Joanne and Boquetti, you connect me with. So but what happens if I found a house I liked that another realtor has listed? Should I contact them too? Or like how does that work in Panama? I know in the States, everyone's got a lockbox on every door that everyone's got a key for, so everyone shows it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's a good question. We do have a multiple listing service here in Panama. We are members of it. We could assist a buyer with virtually any property, regardless of what real estate agent is representing that property. If a buyer feels like they're just not comfortable with any particular agent, I would encourage them to find somebody that they feel very comfortable with, and they have a warm fuzzy and they have a trust level. We at least speaking for myself, I don't like to feel like I'm twisting somebody's arm to work with me. If I'm providing a good service, that should do it. If the client feels I'm not, well, I would encourage them to find somebody that they're comfortable with. Moving to a foreign country and purchasing real estate is serious business. We take it very serious, and we try to do our absolute best for our clients. But sometimes you just can't please everybody. But as it relates to the individual properties, we can show you virtually any property that's out there for sale.
Mm-hmm. That's something beautiful to know.
Yeah, we've seen that, folks, over the years. And we've dealt with other real estate agents too, and that's not typically the same for them. If we contact Mike, hey, so-and-so has this property listed, he can typically, with their reputation they have, you'll get the appointment within a couple days. Mm-hmm. So, it's always good to know. Let's move on. As you know, the majority of people coming here are going to rent for the first 6 months as they check it out, maybe even a year. How does using like Martha or Sam make people's lives easier here? Like in finding one of those rentals?
Well, Martha and Sam are property managers. They have inventory available for rentals, and that's a little bit of a different area in the rentals. So they would likely show you the inventory that they have. If we're not able to accomplish what we need with our own inventory, likely we would recommend or just steer you towards somebody else who has more inventory. rental inventory, as you guys know, is pretty tight. So it's really important for us to try to have as much inventory as we can, but sometimes we just don't have the goods. If that were the case, we would recommend you to somebody that is trustworthy and has inventory that we don't. It's not quite the same on the buy side. There's not enough money in the rentals for the two companies to share the commission. Not that it doesn't happen. Occasionally it does, but we try to fulfill the rental needs ourselves by constantly adding to our inventory.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What other questions do you guys have for Michael?
Things to look out for when you're looking at a rental contract or you're looking at a rental home. Homes in Panama for the first time, they're a lot different than U.S. homes.
Mm-hmm. Well, the first thing I always recommend is to see the particular property at different times. So when you go by in the daytime and it's a nice quiet neighborhood, everybody's gone to work, there's nobody around, it looks great. I recommend come back later in the evening when people are off of work. And I recommend even coming back again on the weekend to see what it really looks like when people are around.
Yes.
Sometimes a quiet neighborhood in the day isn't necessarily that way at night or on the weekend. And as you guys know, there's different microclimates and there's many different things in neighborhoods in Panama that vary. So some neighborhoods are more windy than others and some are louder than others. And so I really would recommend take a really good look before you commit yourself. And then, of course, there's all the property issues and determining what comes with the rental. Does it include the landscaper? Does it include the electricity? Does it include the gardener? If it doesn't say specifically in your contract what it does include, you can assume it does not include it. So you really want to be very thorough. And again, a good agent, it can be helpful in that area.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What else? What other questions do we might have?
Okay.
Well, water, electricity, many things, garbage pickup. There's so many things that you need to be aware of. And again, it's really important that you have an agent that will remind you of those things when you're in the heat of the moment.
Okay. Alrighty, folks. We're going to share with you very shortly here a 80-page relocation guide that Michael and his staff put together for you. You're going to be able to download it here in a second. It will have Michael's contact information on it. And in the recap email that goes out after this call, we'll have direct contacts for rentals in Coronado, rentals in Boquete, and Mike's personal phone number, which you can phone him 24/7.
That's right.
When he's sleeping, but but he's always around. So we are gonna. So some of you had questions about the name Inside Panama Real Estate, but we are going to offer you. We're going to do this right now. Actually, you will see that popping up on your screen on your phone, or you'll see a little red dot beside files. You'll see the Panama Relocation ebook. You guys can all just click on that right now and download it to your computer or your phone. So you have it with you. We'll leave that up for the next 5 minutes.
How much that's going to cost?
Oh, yeah. No, you got to pay for that. It's $599. No,
oh, my God.
Mike, think how much money we're making. Yeah. Well, they spent almost a year making it. It should be something. But no. Oscar and I, this is not our company. We are giving away a relocation book of another company, but we've always believed good information needs to be shared. Like there's no problem with that at all. And Michael's company and our company have worked together. They share our tools. We share their relocation guide. They help us, find rentals for our guests, stuff like that.
Collaboration.
So we work good together.
Yeah, for the best interest of any of you looking to move forward.
What we like is you're not going to be scammed.
Yep.
In your rentals and real estate, this company is not going to scam you. And that's what this call is all about. Now, this is our opinion. We've only been doing it 10 years, but stay off of Craigslist and even some of Facebook. Find yourself a good rentals manager and real estate agent if you're buying and you will be protected.
There's already so many sources that you can look up for reviews. You can look up for testimonials. Right now, information is very easy to confirm. If it's not confirmation, let me tell you, you're gonna deal with a lot of scammers or trolls in Facebook, because in Facebook you ask a question, I need a lawyer in X location, and then you have probably 100 names. Sometimes the people writing the name is the secretary of whoever is supposed to be the lawyer. Not necessarily somebody actually got the service. So there is a lot of people have no idea, or they're just doing it because they're being paid for, not because actually they have a good experience or because they have the service. Just for your information.
Okay, again, guys, we thank Michael for joining us today. Download his ebook. It's still available in the file section. But after this call, you'll get a recap email with the replay, which is going to have all the contact information, Michael's personal contact, Coronado Rentals, Boquete Rentals, and somebody's asking what areas: Coronado area, Panama City, Boca Chica, Bocas del Toro, Puerto Amules, Boquete, all those areas Michael has offices in.
Nice t-shirt, by the way, buddy.
Okay. All righty. Thank you for joining us, Michael. And
Thank
we
you
will
so much for having me.
see you, I'm sure, within the next week somewhere.
Oh, yeah. This week, maybe.
Okay. All righty, guys. Now, keep your questions coming, folks. Keep your questions coming. Real questions in the Q&A, please. And, yeah. Otherwise, in the chat, it's hard for us to find questions. And if you want to ask a question, we have some people that have their hand that have requested to speak. Please do that right now, because we're going to get to the Q&A within a few minutes here. Like, honestly, 5 minutes or less. And we would like to meet some of you in person, see you physically, like see your camera. So raise your hand if you, request to speak if you have a question coming up. I'm going to quickly talk about immigration. 2 weeks ago, the Ministry of Immigration announced in Panama that there are fake lawyers set up right now scamming foreigners. And that's all they're doing. $1,000 at a time. That's how they're making a living. And it's crazy, guys. And so, Oscar, what are one of the ways to prevent from being scammed by an immigration lawyer?
Well, first of all, do not look for reference for lawyer, just any group on Facebook, any source of social media, because there's not enough. I mean, if you can get corroboration for a website, but the best way is to find the information from an expert. Experts, perhaps like us, an expert like a reliable real estate company or maybe an insurance company, somebody that have the experience providing this type of service, because there is a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of scamming into a lot of platforms of social media.
Yeah, immigration tells us social media is the number one way they are getting around this. It's typically fake accounts, all promoting a lawyer, saying this guy is the best, this guy is super, and people are sending, and there's communication, everything. They're sending their $1,000 retainer, and then the phone number never works again. Mm-hmm. And they're ripping people off $1,000 at a time, wasting their time. People have been stuck here because they're past their 5 months or they're getting close to their 180 days. They can't get a hold of the lawyer. They gave money. They think things have been applied to immigration, and they haven't even been applied yet.
Or the lawyer tell them they have to buy a piece of land in the jungle that they're in, but they don't know the piece of land or they might have seen it.
There's been bigger scams. I've been involved in a few, not involved. I've helped and assisted people out of a few of them that have been in the $40,000 plus range. So be careful. Oscar and I, if you guys, and Megan, of course, when I say that, we've been in Boquete, in Panama, helping expats for many years. Our reputation precedes us. We're not going to give you a bad referral for a lawyer. It'll just come back to haunt you.
Yeah.
The lawyers we use are not on Facebook. They are not, I call it trolling. It's kind of a bad word, but they're not sitting in the groups. They don't have their staff, the receptionist sitting in the group recommending their boss as a lawyer. pretending to be an expat or a member of the group. And there's so much of that going on in Panama right now. Their only referral our lawyer will take is a personal referral from us. So we have to do a complete email introduction. And so if you want that, you got to go to our website. Megan sent it to you all. It's Megan, can you type that to all again?
Sure.
Retireinpanamatours.com / contact. Sorry, I had to. Retireinpanamatours.com / contact. Just, send us an email saying that you want to be connected to a lawyer for immigration, and we'll make that introductory to someone we know that's going to look after you. We've used lawyers that have done hundreds and hundreds of immigrations, and we know they are 100% reliable, and you're going to get what you want, and they're fair price. So just be very wary. If you're on a Facebook group and 15 people recommend the same company, chances are it's probably good. Okay. But what always happens to people on Facebook is they get a bunch of private messages from people saying that they're lawyers and they'll help them out and they got the best price in town. Well, the best price.
/
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, just go retireinpanamatours.com actually. Yeah, they can find the contact button. So I'm not sure if it might be contact us.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go to our website. There's a contact button. On the other button, there's special requests for immigration, for visas, for stuff like that. Lots of resources on that site that you can find. So I think we're almost ready to start the Q&A. We have Vicky wants to ask a question, but we also have in the Q&A a whole bunch of questions. So bear with us again this time. So we're going to ask the first question. Megan, I can't see that far away, my eyes.
Should I scroll back down?
Yeah, start from the beginning.
Okay, we'll start from the beginning.
Lots.
Okay, let's see. Question from Fernando. How can I come and visit 3 weeks on my own? Thinking of days in Antone, Santiago, David, Dolega, and Boquete. Can I pick up and go around without hotels booked or bookings on the go? Do you recommend it?
Depends when it's coming.
It depends what the time of the year. It depends the season of the year.
You want to make sure there's no holidays going on, including Panamanian holidays.
Yeah.
Because hotels will be booked up.
Yeah, and there is some places there is no hotels per se. You might be able to find on Airbnb, like for example, Dolega. That will be one of those. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be challenging also if your level of Spanish is very low or none. Depends also if you're gonna have a public transportation or not.
Or rent a car. You'll definitely want, if you're renting your car, then you'll want to have a plan on your phone to use so you can use Google Maps or Waze. Definitely you want to make sure you plan things out and know what you're doing before you land here.
Yep.
Yeah, our high season is, let's say, December through April. Don't try to do that during December through April.
Or November.
Or November. That's not our high season. That's our Panama holiday season. And all 2 million people, half of the 2 million from the city come to the interior all in that month. But if you're like May through October, yeah, you can get away without booking months in advance your hotel for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the availability will be very flexible for sure.
Okay.
What else? Yes.
From Mindy, to buy a car, how does one pay? Is there financing available, cash, or wire the money?
That is a very good question. To buy a car is one pay. Only financing is possible if you are under payroll working for a Panamanian employer over 2 years and earning Panamanian salary. And you need to be resident or citizen. In other things, you will have to do the payment. It's possible in cash. but people not used to that. So a lot of people will not like it will be a little bit intimidated by having a bunch of cash for a vehicle. So the best way is to a wire transfer. But in order to do a wire transfer, is the most healthy way is to have already your Panamanian bank account. So you can do from a Panamanian bank account to another Panamanian bank account. That's the most healthy way to do it.
Yeah. International wire transfers for car purchases. If it's a personal purchase of somebody on a personal account, they can take 3 to 5 days and they're going to get flagged because this person normally doesn't get $10,000 or more dollars wired from a foreign country into his bank account. If you're looking at a commercial, like if you're buying from a dealership, which we usually recommend, you're going to get charged 7% tax because it's a foreign transaction. So get your bank account opened here, get yourself the money, and then buy your car.
Yeah. And also you can use somebody reliable as a broker, like to find you the car and make it assist you in the process. Somebody probably like me, because I provide those services too.
Yeah. Okay. Then just go back to the chat. Sorry, guys. We are learning the system as we go along here.
Okay. Our next question is from Lee. Is it a buyer's market in Boquete? Why are houses on the market for weeks, months, or years?
Why are houses?
We've got Vicky on.
Okay. Hey, Vicky, we're going to come to you in a second. We're just going to answer this question now.
Okay.
So just hang tight. So it's a buyer's market in Panama basically right now. Has been for several years, like 3. Time on market was 2 years during the pandemic. It's now shrunk down to less than a year. So this is not like some places in the U.S. where you will put your house for sale and it will sell over asking in a week. That's not the market here at all. So it's definitely still a buyer's market throughout Panama. So if you have a home and you want to sell it, you can expect 6 months to a year for that house to sell. And it probably will not sell for over asking. Okay, Vicky, how are you doing?
I'm good, guys. Good to see you again.
Good to see you.
A couple of questions.
Oh,
is everything okay?
We got Gail joined too, but we're just going to turn off Gail's audio for now, and we'll take her question next.
Okay.
Okay. My questions are, why aren't prices going down on rentals? I've been looking, and they still appear to be elevated, even though it's the wet season.
Well, we're right now yet in the wet season. Yeah. We are transitioning to the green season, because right now the rainy season is mostly after July. Okay. And that's tremendously low season. But we still, a lot of people that come here, snowbirds, will just about to leave. But some people are coming. So it's coming, depends on the location where you're looking for.
Yeah, it's just starting to happen, Vicky. In Alta Boquete, the little cottages right on the highway, they were renting for $650 during the dry season, and they just put one up last week for $550. So I know, that's the type of stuff we see this time of year, but it's just starting to happen now.
Okay. And also, I wanted to ask, because I want to buy a car when I get there, and I know you just talked about that, but can non-citizens, if I don't have a visa or I'm a U.S. citizen, can I just buy a car?
Yes, you can.
Yeah, you don't need residency to purchase a car here. But like you said, the Panamanian bank account is ideal.
My next question, can a non-citizen without a visa get a bank account?
No.
Difficult. Yes, very difficult. We're not going to definitively say no here.
Most banks now are requesting that you have at least begun to get your residency. So have applied or are working with a lawyer and have a letter from your lawyer saying you will be applying. Okay. There in Panama City, there might be a couple.
Up here in Boquete, no. There's no chance. In Panama City, there are a couple that people keep telling me are offering bank accounts to foreigners, but I haven't looked into it, but definitely we can for you, Vicky.
Mhm.
Okay. If I keep going,
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah.
like the name of an insurance agency that does. I know, Rod, you spoke once that you had like catastrophic insurance,
Mhm.
and that's all I want. As I will, I think I'll be able to pay for regular checkups or teeth cleaning or whatever. But the catastrophic insurance, say if I was mauled by a monkey and needed to be in the hospital.
Yeah, but this is Panama. They don't include monkey maulings. I'm teasing you, Vicky. Vicky, in your case, we're probably going to recommend the local insurance. Most international plans require a permanent residency, for people. So the people that come here for part-time of the year usually get the local plans, which are very affordable. At your age, you're looking at $104 a month, I think it is.
Okay.
But folks, just for something Vicky said there, no health plans in Panama cover dental.
Okay.
A teeth cleaning is 35.
Mhm.
Yeah, $35.
They're affordable.
hmm
Mhm.
And my last question, please.
Yeah.
I've seen people renting their personal vehicles for transportation as the rental agency business is just really outrageous with the mandatory insurance. What do you think about people who offer their personal vehicles for rent?
Especially since you're looking at Coronado area, that might be a big option, especially for snowbirds that leave their vehicle here when they're not in Coronado area. That might be more of an option for your situation.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
But you're not, the situation is don't rent from that guy on Facebook. I know 3 companies in Coronado. They're private individuals, but they have the right insurance. And they're
okay.
about $400, $500 less than the majors a month.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, just because there's a guy that I've seen people I'll rent you my car. Well, you legally can't do that on a personal insurance.
Right.
Because if someone else is driving your car for a whole month, they're not going to be covered for the liability. But if somebody runs a business, like we have a rent-a-car agency across the street from me. They're private individuals that rent older cars, 2014, 2015, for like $700 a month as opposed to $1,500 is what Budget and Avis want.
Yeah.
But they're totally legal. Their insurance is right. And we have checked them out. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
All righty, Vicky.
Thank
Well,
you
we
so
will be
much.
in touch. We'll be hearing from me about another issue, Vicky, later this week. We've been
Okay.
communicating. We're excited to have you come and hang out with us.
Sure. Looking forward.
All righty. We're going to move on to Gail here as I have to somehow. Gail, do you have an option there to turn your sound on? Because I think I muted you, but I don't seem to be unmuting you. Interesting.
The option.
Hello, Gail.
Gail, are you there?
Can you hear
Can you
us?
hear me?
Yes, I
Oh.
can. How are you, Gail?
Good, thank you. I didn't mean to join this. I did it accidentally, but hi.
Well, welcome. You must have a question for us then.
Well, I do have a question for the tour itself. How
Sure.
are we going to get around? Like, is it a car, a van?
It's gonna be a long walk.
Yeah, we
Is it?
walk most of the way with umbrellas and canes and walking sticks.
Backpackers. It's gonna be interesting.
Okay.
No, we'll provide transportation. What we do is a very comfortable 12-passenger van. We have a full AC, Wi-Fi in the van, and we'll also visit the main spots in Panama. We do very many stops during the road, so people can stretch out, use bathrooms, maybe grab a cup of coffee, and so in between locations. We don't do the drive more than tops 2 hours. I think 2 hours is the tops we're in the van driving sometimes.
Before you stop. Yeah.
Before a stop.
Before it stops,
Usually every
yeah.
hour.
Usually
Okay.
every hour. So it's very comfortable. We put the very nice music all on the car, wherever you want to listen. We do it.
We rap all the way to
Megan does karaoke.
Yeah.
So you know, soon we might have a slushing machine to good margaritas. No, that's not,
Yes. No,
that's not legal, but it would be a good idea.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
Idea.
Thank you.
We for the rest of you folks, we drive a Ford Transit. That's the largest passenger van there are. A 6-foot person can stand up in it, so there's lots of room. And there's 12 people in the back of the van, not in the whole van. So plus there's a front, obviously. Yeah. So we have maximum 12 people. There's 12 full-size seats. So it's a very comfortable van.
Yeah.
So anyone else, we're going to get back to all the questions in the chat. But if anyone else wants, thank you very much, Gail, for joining us.
Thank you, Gail.
And let's have the next person. Somebody, please click on your Ask a Question or Ask to Speak button, and you'll be up next with your
Don't
question.
be shy. Join
Don't be
us.
shy.
We want to see your face and hear your
You can
voice.
hide your video if you want to. We don't want you to, though. But we'd love to hear your voice.
All right. While we wait on that, we'll jump back into the Q&A. We have a question from George. Where is a good place to rent where the temperature is around 70 degrees Fahrenheit year round?
Probably in Celsius again.
Well, that would be like,
Boquete.
yeah, that's here. Here, Boquete and Volcan. That's 20,
Boquete and
20
Volcan, yeah.
degrees.
Volcan will be even more steady,
Yeah.
a little chiller than Boquete. Yeah. But the temperature also has to match what do you want to experience in that area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What kind of amenities do you want? What kind of social life do you want? And restaurants, are you social, no social, outdoors, no outdoors, stuff like that. But for that temperature will be mostly Volcan and Boquete.
Yeah. Panama is 8 degrees north of the equator. Its beachfront temperature is 86 to 96 Fahrenheit every single day. But the mountain temperature is more like 65 to 75. And that's in the higher mountains of Boquete and Volcan. In Valley d'Antone, what would you say, 75 to 85?
Yeah.
You
In
guys
the
spend more
evening,
time.
it depends on the weather. In the evening can be a little more chill.
Welcome, Doug.
Hey,
Hello,
Doug,
Doug.
we'll get you to you in 1 second. We're just finishing the climate question. Yeah, so
By the end, it will be really nice in the evening. It will be close to like after a month, you probably will need a light jacket.
yeah.
Low
If
70s.
it's windy, especially in the months of the December, in the windy months, December, January, February.
The one thing to remember to you beach lovers is wherever you live in Panama, you're only an hour to an hour and a half from a beach. From
2
the
hours
ocean.
stops.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on to next question. I can mute you, but I can't unmute you. Sorry, Doug. I'm going to have to get you to turn your microphone on again.
Might just have to hover over.
I found it. Oh,
No. No. You keep turning him off when he turns it on.
are you serious?
Yes.
Okay,
you
I'm
can
not gonna
unmute
touch it.
yourself again, Doug. Sorry.
We were battling there, you and I. Just
There we go. Hey, new system.
okay. Excuse me. Okay. All right. Fine. Are we? Can you hear me?
Yes,
We
we
can hear
can.
you.
Okay. Good. Yeah, I have a question there, so you can go ahead and avoid the one in the chat. But basically, my goal is to come down there for 3 months or so in the wintertime. Snowbird. I understand the way that whole thing works. The question is, what's the best way to go ahead and get a rental for that period of time? I've been looking around, and Boquete really is my area because of I have Boquete coffee in my garage, even as we speak. So it seems like it's going to be the best thing for me. What's the best way to find a rental other than Airbnb or the VRBO or whatever? I mean, what's the best way for me to find a rental for, say, 2 to 3 months in what I recognize as the high season, say December to February? Because I need light.
That is a trickier time period,
Definitely.
definitely.
And the thing is, a lot of the rental agents, they don't not do any short term,
No.
like the 3
Well,
months.
there's no money in it for them.
Yeah. So
You know,
best choice is word of mouth for somebody like a good source in Boquete, like somebody that is well known in Boquete, and the other one Airbnb.
If you didn't
Or
know,
Airbnb.
you can message the hosts on Airbnb or VRBO and ask them if they would give a monthly rate.
Like
And
a
most
better
of
deal.
them
Oh,
will
yeah.
give you a better deal for a couple months, not just their nightly rate.
Uh-huh.
and it all depends what you know. It all depends what you're looking for, Doug. You can always send us an email. Like we live here. We've lived here 10 years. I know Limecracker. Okay. For a lot of people, Limecracker apartments would be perfect. If you were to book that now for next January, February, March, you would probably get it for $600 a month if you booked it now. And I know they're a reputable company, been around 10, 15 years in Boquete. And you can just Google and find their website now Limecracker Resort Boquete.
Okay.
But they have typical one-bedroom studio cottages in a group, about 5 or 6 of them. But there's half a dozen of those places around here that are sold out by October next year. They're all sold
Yeah,
out.
I mean, like a
And
park
you
hotel.
need to start now. Yeah.
The Swan Swong apartment.
Yeah, Swang Song, Apart Hotel in Boquete. You need to book that now. You don't need to pay the full amount. You'll need to pay a deposit and get them the full amount 30 days before you get here.
Well, yeah, this especially after pandemic, this area is blooming a lot in the high season. So definitely, the sooner you can settle down, get a deposit, confirm, and
Yeah.
then you reconfirm that within a few months before your arrival.
And we mentioned Limecracker, Apart Hotel, and
Swan
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 Song
Suite,
Apartments.
Uh-huh.
Those are three we know are legit guys who've been around many, many years. Don't go send deposits to somebody you found on Craigslist.
Well, and that's what I'm trying to avoid. Essentially,
Throw it by us first.
my original thought was I would just come do a B&B for a week and then find something while I was there.
You could do that
just-
too, but
It felt a little dicey.
Yeah,
yeah,
It
it's
will be.
typically all those places we just mentioned have been full from December 1st until now. Because
Got
it's a great year. They know what they're doing. They know how to treat their guests. So they're full. So
All right.
feel free to, you guys send us go to our website, fill in the contact. You don't have to buy one of our tours to get us to answer our emails. And talking about buying one of our tours, it is almost time for me. There's many people, I
Look
know,
at-
that's why it's holding out.
Look at Doug is looking with that suspicious look. Look at
Yeah,
that.
we got 130 people on our call. Many people, I told them that we are going to release the tour. That's for sale at
Release the Kraken!
release the tour.
I am looking forward to meeting you guys when I actually come to Boquete.
Yeah,
we
good
would
to
love to have
hear
a
your-
coffee
We
with you,
are
buddy.
fun.
Seriously,
We are
seriously.
fun.
It'll be fun.
So,
Ah,
anyways, guys, we are sold out until the end of the year. January and February is almost sold out, actually. So, we are doing a tour August 4th. August 4th through August 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th. Okay. That tour is not publicly for sale right now. It is being released just to the people on this call. If you guys want to get first dibs on it, because I can guarantee you in a week it's not going to be available.
and
Actually, tomorrow it might
and
not.
let me remind you, it will be the last one.
Yeah.
Pretty much it's going to be the last one, I think, on this year. Because we're already booked up with a lot of things and other work that we have.
Yeah, our lives are busy. So I am going to, no, that's a comment, attendees. So I'm going to put on your device right now, you're going to see a little pop-up. It'll say, warning, the site is trying to send you to another site. Yes, it's a safe link. It's the link to our page that this tour is for sale. So any of you want to take a little break and book a tour, you can do it now. So I just sent the link out. You would have all seen that on your phones or on your computers. It's going to pop up, and we're going to get back to the Q&A. And if anyone wants to purchase that tour and be the first to come with us in August, feel free to.
All right, Rod, we've got some pet relocation questions for you. Have you ever brought a ferret to Panama?
No, I haven't. Oh, that's the
What?
question. Sorry. Okay.
Or can you bring a ferret to Panama?
Yes, you can bring a
what?
ferret to Panama.
Ferret.
What is
It's
that?
a ferret is a little animal that kind of acts like a dog, but that isn't the dog. I don't even know which family it's in. My friend
Squirrel-like?
has one.
Oh,
Squirrel-like.
whoa!
but it's
Those
not a
like
Okay, we're arguing about
Like a
what
weasel.
type of. Yeah,
those are cool.
Yeah, like a. Yes, you can. I know someone who did it. I did not personally help them, but ferrets, lizards, birds, all those things you can. Endangered species, Panama's very, very tough on. So you need to leave your lion and your, and your tiger at home.
Your panther.
But, your panther. But ferret, that's something we can talk about. Feel free. We offer a full service pet relocation service, folks. You can find us on Panama Expat Service or just on Retiring Panama.
Yes.
You can contact us, and I will tell you what we do and how we, what the cost would be. Typically, we only do from North America currently, and typically we do dogs and cats, but we'll look at and tell you what needs to be done for all animals.
Great.
Okay.
What other services do we provide besides the pet relocation?
We also offer pet relocation and we offer vehicle purchase service.
Vehicle purchases. Yes,
So
we do.
okay, this is another one, getting the scam thing. Remember, guys, if you want to talk, click on the ask to speak so you can ask a question like the other folks. But we got a bunch more questions, don't we, Megan?
We do.
Vehicle purchase, we offer a service. This is great for new people. Your second, third time you do this, you can probably do it yourself. But the first time, you don't want to get ripped off. You don't want to be buying a rebuilt vehicle in Panama.
Something that has been a total and you just raw ship here and it's gonna look beautiful, but then it's a total in other countries.
What can happen with serial numbers and title and VIN numbers also?
Yes. Well, it's a lot of vehicles. They unfortunately now they're bringing from United States or other countries. They have been total in those countries. They're rebuilt. They look perfect, brand new, and new models, very low mileage and very affordable. Those are red flags. I've seen it myself. I have found them myself in Panama, and I mean, there is people that can find out easier than others. You can go through a checkup of the computer, or you can just, it's a lot of other ways to see it, but there is those scams deals in Panama.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, making sure it doesn't have any paperwork, any fines, any taxes. They also is not owned by the owner but the bank.
Yeah,
that's another one.
Big red flag there.
Yeah, so you want to stay away from those kind of bad deals.
So we offer a service that Oscar will personally find you that vehicle you want. We only deal in vehicles between 10,000 and above. We typically only used if it's new. You can deal right with the dealership.
Mm-hmm.
We can direct you to a dealership that's reputable. But if it's used, you got to be careful your first time. You need to learn the process. So Oscar will search for a vehicle for you. He'll show you a bunch of options. He'll go to Panama City. He'll be with you on video and WhatsApp the whole time. You'll select the vehicle. You'll transfer the money. You'll make sure it's mechanically sound. Make sure the title is correct. Make sure your odometer is not rolled back.
And he'll drive it
he'll drive it to wherever you're located, right to your driveway.
Yeah.
So if you want more information on that, retireingpanamatours.com.
And one more service that we do provide is the interpretation services.
Yes, any translation.
Yes. Mm-hmm. We have two fully bilingual people beside me, Megan and Oscar, and we have a no bilingual person, that's Rod. But I can translate English to English for you.
Yeah.
English to Canadian, hey?
Hey, Ted. Thanks for joining us.
Well, thank you very much for hosting this. I have had the pleasure of going to Panama now for about 20 years. I do own property in Bocas del Toro, but I am looking more for semi-retirement in Boquete, and am looking at a finca there. And I'm wondering, I know how to do this in Bocas, but in that area, if you want to hire a local to do the management of your finca, it's 2 acres that require a lot of attention. Where do you go in the Boquete area to get that kind of a Panamanian worker? And also in Bocas, I have someone who does the contracts, and people need to be aware there's some risk if you don't properly hire people in Panama to take care of Social Security and all that. What services do you recommend to help you with hiring people? And is there a place to go to find qualified workers to do landscape work?
That's a good question.
Yeah, very good. As far as, I think it's a word of mouth thing here, honestly. Ted, if you need to come spend some time here and meet other people that have fincas, because there is no agency in Boquete that posts job offerings that scrutinizes the employees and stuff like that. So you need to basically be here or, meet other people that have fincas that, hopefully, if a guy has a 2-acre finca and has an employee, maybe he needs an extra 2 days a week work. And that's a perfect thing. You need a good lawyer here, obviously local, that you can work with that to build your work contract and stuff like that. We can certainly find you something there. As far as we have no experience owning fincas and hiring employees directly, but we know a few people that do. We can. But as far as a place that lists employment offers, nothing like that here.
Yeah, but I personally know already. I can tell you that I know 3 people that do landscaping, but in the homes. I'm pretty sure those people potentially be able to do a larger place or know how to facilitate that part. So the best way is, like Rod said, come in here or send us an email if you have the location and also the estimate what it will be, the size of the lot or the finca, and I can tell to our people, okay, this is what we have. Is it possible? Is it feasible? If these people can do it, if you know, then try to find out.
Yeah, we do have a friend that manages a group of landscapers and farmers, so she could even bring more people on to support you.
So it will be happy. I'm already know. We already know a person they potentially can assist.
Yeah, send us an email, Ted, and let us look. We're always willing to refer people we know that are good people, because good people deserve more work.
Yeah.
So let us look a little more into it.
For us, it's beautiful because that means more work for a lot of Panamanian workers. And also like for a small company to grow. So that'll be good for them.
Okay.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome, Ted. Thank you so much.
Okay. So far, congratulations to Byron and for booking. You're coming with us in July.
Woohoo!
Byron and Angela and
July or August?
No, August. Sorry. Sandy Reed. Hey, Sandy, I talked to you today. I see you just booked the tour. You're on the call here. And so we got Byron, Sandy. Oh, Dawn and Jennifer. Congratulations. You booked the tour also. So, I don't know. Do you think we're going to sell this out today? There's already 6 or 7 of them. Okay. So anyone else want that tour? I think we just got to pop that back in here just to make sure everyone has the link. Oh my God, where's the link they're saying? Sorry.
You want to put that in attendees or the chat?
Yeah, I'm going to put that in the general chat. And if you guys still want to book that tour, because it still looks like there's a couple spots left. Looks like 4 of them are gone. And let's get back to whoever wants to ask a question. We want to meet more of you. Please raise your hand to speak. Please click on I want to speak. Let's meet more of you guys. I'm sorry, Megan, I lost the chat. Okay. I know people are busy trying to buy the tour right now. Okay.
We did just invite Fernando on to chat, so we'll see if he jumps on.
Hey, Fernando, join us.
I did see we had a question about current COVID regulations. I'm not sure where it went, but basically mask wearing still required.
Yeah, basically the COVID regulations are if you're vaccinated, you don't need anything to come in. If you're unvaccinated, you need a antigen test 72 hours before arrival. Masks are still mandatory in indoor places, and we have no vaccine card passport rules here, so you don't have to worry about that. Vaccinated people can go wherever unvaccinated people go. So just the mask. I know some people don't like wearing masks, but hey, I after we've been through what we've been through, I'm really considering wearing a mask every time I go to a grocery store.
Well,
I look at people without masks.
Yeah, me personally, I can appreciate wearing a mask respectfully to anybody believes, of course. And it's a very indoor, crowded area. And especially if you notice that it's flu season. Definitely.
It's flu season right now in Panama, guys. Flu season is not the same as the North America. Here we are in April through, I think flu shots came out in March.
It's the change of seasons.
Yeah, it's April through June here. It's flu season. And, I'm in the grocery store in front of the vegetable lady, some lady sneezing everywhere. She had a mask on. I was so happy because typically it just bothers me. It's really crowded in. I find it a little bit more crowded.
Grocery stores in Boquete, they are smaller.
Yeah,
so they're
crowded. Smaller. They got small aisles and stuff. So I have no problem wearing a mask in the grocery store. But we don't wear them outside anymore, stuff like that. We don't have to. Something
we didn't touch on too much, which I know is important to a lot of people, is medical care. We have a question from Deborah about cancer treatment, kidney problems, dialysis. What area in Panama would you live that would be near really great hospitals?
For cancer treatments, Panama City.
Yeah.
Cancer treatments, dialysis, all the best services will be Panama City.
Panama City will give you U.S. big city style medical care.
For the third the cost, probably less than that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there are patients, and, I pump up Panama's medical system. Many of their doctors, all their doctors are trained in their last few years, at least, outside of Panama. Most of them speak English because they're trained in North America or Europe where they teach in English. Excellent doctors care here, but many people come here for cancer treatment and stuff like that, and the full payment is less than what their copay would have been back in the States. And they get a vacation out of it.
Yep.
So, okay, we got a speaker. Okay.
I'm accepting.
Okay, we are inviting people to come on. This Q&A is working good. We get to see a few people as we get through all these questions. Oh, we have someone else.
What do we got?
Tom and Jerry.
Tom and Jerry.
Love
it.
Nice.
And I got an error on here. Thomas.
Okay.
Thomas and
accepting Samuel to come on and ask your question. What else do we got in the Q&A here? From Aaron, what websites do Panamanians use to list their rental beach properties for short-term rentals? Is Airbnb the best place to list a property?
For short-term, yes.
Isn't it like VRBO?
Well, it is true. VRBO, it is well known, but most people are more familiar with Airbnb, in my opinion.
Do people list on Encuentro 24?
Encuentro 24, but knowing in between foreigners. So it depends. It depends what kind of market.
Yeah.
I mean, usually if you're the one renting.
Panamanians do list on Encuentro 24
yes,
and
Encuentro
Facebook
24
Marketplace.
And Facebook, yes.
Personally, I don't trust them because you can't look at the reviews that they've had.
Yeah.
Often there's not a lot of photos.
Another thing
Airbnb, you can see the reviews from everyone.
But most important about Airbnb, there is a credit card attached to their profile.
Yeah.
So you can always control the security on your booking. You only allow the pre-booking if there is a credit card or there is a down charge to the credit card. So if anything goes wrong, you have a safety there.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the host isn't doing a good job, Airbnb will kick them off the platform.
Precisely.
That's why I don't like Craigslist, and in Latin America they call it Encuentro 24, which is Encuentra, spelled just like that, 24. Which
no,
is
it's not like that.
Encuentra.
I mean, you asked me.
Can you spell it, please, Oscar?
ENCUNTRA24.
Yeah, Encuentra24. It's like a Craigslist. It's a knockoff of a Craigslist. But like Megan said, there's no reviews. You can't tell if that guy's a scammer or not.
Yeah.
We're on
There is actually
Airbnb and VRBO.
no, but in the bottom of the announcement, it says if it has any history. If it has 0 stars, means it's the first one. So
Yeah.
it's like a whoops, it's a gamble.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, we have an interesting question from Michael. Do you recommend opening up a Panamanian bank account if you're moving to Panama? Or can you just keep your US bank account, use your credit cards, withdraw cash from ATMs?
Keep your US bank account. Definitely open a Panamanian bank account.
Always.
Always.
Yeah.
If you're
Not
resident-
even a question.
Yeah. Do not question that one.
And the reason's simple is you can pay all your bills through your Panama bank account. If you can believe it, if you don't have a Panama bank account, every time you get your electric bill, which some guy in a motorcycle is going to drive by your house, he's going to roll it up, he's going to stick it in your fence, it's going to get soaked in the rain or blow away, so you don't know how much you owe, but you're going to take this bill and drive to town, stand in line at a Pago place or at the electric company to pay it. It's the only way to pay it, unless you have a bank account. Then you can pay online.
Yep.
You can pay all your bills online. You can transfer money. If I need Oscar to send me money, I said, Oscar, send me $50. We can transfer money back and forth. We can use our debit cards for no cost.
No
We
cost.
can get a secured credit card, or they want you to usually to secure it for a year or two, and then you can get a credit card from your bank and earn air miles with Copa. You can always wire yourself money once a month or once every 3 months to keep your costs down. Because if you take money out of an ATM, the US ATM, you charge $5.25 here, plus you charge whatever fee you get charged in the States. Now, some of you have a bank account that says they're going to reverse those international charges. That's typically true unless you have some type of a high yield account with Chase Manhattan or something like that. If you have a regular account, they will reverse those charges for a year or so till they figure out you're no longer in the States and you're only using your card internationally. And then that changes. So many reasons to get a bank account.
It's very convenient to have both.
Yeah.
So if any of you guys have pressing questions that we haven't gotten to, we're trying to make our way through the Q&A chat. But please request to speak and we'll accept you to come on and ask your question.
Yeah, we're in the last 10 minutes of the chat, and we still have 2 spots for couples left on the tours, guys.
Only 2 spots?
For two couples.
2 couples and a single could fit on this tour.
Michael
So
and
let's fill it
Audrey,
out.
come on. Michael and Audrey. Sharon asked, is it possible to do a rent-to-own arrangement in Panama?
Yeah. It's not that popular, owner financing. If it is, it's typically short term, like a 5-year type project, which obviously hefty bills. There is some developer financing available to foreigners if you're looking at condo developments, but they're going to want 25% down minimum. And their terms are not going to be that friendly. Get a very good lawyer. You're late on a payment or 2, and they're going to own your condo.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I
There
know
they
those guys.
are.
Hey, what's up?
What you guys
Looking
doing?
good.
Looking very good.
I'd like to do a hairdo.
Hey, it's snowing here. It's looking good.
Oh,
Whoa.
then why are you there?
Yeah, why are you there? Seriously.
Soon enough.
Soon enough.
The question is, speaking about banking, if you purchase a property in Panama in advance of moving there, you're not yet a resident. Is it then possible to open a bank account so that you can start doing transactions that are, related to housing and maybe purchasing furniture and getting some trades in for this and that? Do you have to be a resident to get the bank account, or can you get a bank account if you prove that you bought a property?
You don't have to be a resident. You're supposed to be in the process of residency. That could be as little as a $500 retainer to the lawyer that you're going to use to get your residency. And they write a letter saying that Michael and Audrey are in the process of residency.
And
All right.
as someone
Yeah.
that's purchasing a property, I know for like higher net worth individuals, the bank account process is
Yeah,
streamlined
that comes
usually.
easy. Like, especially if you're getting if you're purchasing a property and you're getting an investment visa, they typically will open a bank account before your residency.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah, because what they're looking for is any ties of you with the country. Is it a residency or is it an investment? So if it is an investment, of course, with more reason, yes.
Yeah.
He is owning a property here,
Okay.
so
Should be pretty quick.
should be very quick.
But some banks are pickier than others. We got a couple, that we can connect you directly with the managers of that. Some still might want that letter, but it's typically a letter from the lawyer saying, yes, these people are in the process of residency. You don't need a residency card to actually open the account.
And the lawyer we met with you can handle all that stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
Very much.
Yeah, and if you want that introduction to the bank manager, not the one that's in the book, the actual,
In Panama City.
yeah, the actual provincial manager that can connect you right to the Panama City manager. I can get that for you, Michael. Just send me an email on that.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Soon.
Nice
All right,
seeing you
guys.
guys.
Looking good. Really looking good, guys.
So is Megan.
So that's folks. I want to mention Michael and I were on our tour when February, January. Okay, and they're in the process of moving here. We're always they've always been big supporters of us. We're going to appreciate it. That's questions of the calls that we need. That's how we handle our customers. I honestly, our clients have been our tour to be in a situation where we're in the reservation of credit. We can make that happen. I can't make that happen. I can send you to anyway. So bring your tours and you can connect you to the people who need to make it happen to you. So always will be prepared to you guys. You will any connection that one thing we always say, we're talking all of it. We have people moving here that we just started a new group. Work. Oh, there's a good one. That's one we haven't talked about. Finding work in Panama is difficult as other people would lead you to believe. Good question, Amanda. Number one, if you have a work permit and you're fluent in Spanish, finding work is probably not hugely difficult as people say. Panama currently is one of the world banks with a 9.6% rate, which is double what it was before the pandemic. So we tried getting better. So things are good. But Panama is not an industry at all. 5% of Panamanians speak English, and like on a fluent level. So if you're going to work here, you need to speak Spanish, obviously,
or work for a foreign company. They will need actually somebody.
Exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
What Oscar said. Yeah, or you're going to be hired by a company. Well, actually, everyone I knew a lot of Dell employees, but every one of them was fluent because they wanted to talk to their coworkers. Because you're going to be working in an environment where there's Spanish people. And if you're a foreigner, companies are only allowed to hire between 10 and 20% foreign workers. So if you're a company with more than 10 workers, you're only allowed between 10 and 20% foreign workers. So it is difficult to find a job here, for sure. This country has less population than many of the U.S. states. There's 4 million people here. So if you're thinking of coming here just to find a job, it's going to be difficult for you. If you want to come here and start a business, many people have done it and have been very successful at it. Oscar and I have. But, besides that, many of the people Mike did that you met today, but many of the restaurants you go to and the
it was
expat
very
places.
difficult for me to speak the language.
Do you speak the language?
Yeah, it was very difficult.
Maybe. Slap them on the head.
And we have so many questions in here. I'm sorry, we're not going to get to all of them tonight. If you have any pressing questions, please request to speak now and we'll get you on really quick. If we weren't able to get to your question, feel free to send us an email. Let me write our
Let's go this
info.
that.
I'm going to write our email in the chat.
Yeah,
so
any
everybody
last
has
minute
it.
questions, because we have about 3 minutes left here. So please, all the last minute questions, click on request to speak. You can hide your camera if you don't want to show it, but we would rather see it. But unless you got any, is there freedom of movement, freedom to go maskless, freedom? Okay, here we go. Let's talk about freedoms. Panama definitely is freedom of movement. Panama never had a vaccination passport. Okay, we had a couple events during the Omicron that were vaccinated only. There were big outdoor events and stuff like that. But besides that, no. Masks are worn indoors. Masks are respected by Panamanians. If you're totally anti-mask, Panama might not be the right choice for you. I'm going to be honest there. Right now, we don't have to wear masks outside, but approximately 80 to 90% of Panamanians are still wearing masks. So it's their choice.
And their choice, So
and
outdoors,
we respect it.
Yeah, we respect it. I don't wear it outside because I'm not next to people the whole time. But of course, indoors, it is still required indoors to wear a mask, especially at airports and airplanes in Panama. Because I actually I actually learned today the United States.
Yeah, the United States is dropping masks for airplanes. Panama still will have. So if you come to Panama,
expect on the list, by the way.
Yeah, expect to be wearing a mask. You'll be wearing a mask in a hotel if you get into an elevator, and people working in office buildings are still wearing masks. It's the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, we got someone. We told them that if they're going to speak, so let's see if they'll have you. Oh, Jeanette, you got to come on in our last couple minutes here.
Yeah.
People are starting to drop off because they know it's the end of the call. They're probably heading over to buy the tour.
Jeanette, if I decide to get the pensionado visa, would I still be allowed to work online? Jeanette, I'm not sure if your video is going to work, but I see a question from you in the chat. Maybe that's it. Let me invite you as a presenter. See if that will work. But we see your question here is, if I decide to get the pensionado visa, would I still be allowed to work online? Yes.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Basically, the answer is yes, as long as you're not working online for a Panamanian company. If you're working, the end, maximum duration, okay. We're getting warning signs. But if you are working online for a foreign company, you do not need a work visa here. Just sit in your home, do your stuff. If you plan to open up an office and have a whole bunch of employees working online for a foreign company, then you need a work visa because you're opening up a physical location and hiring local people. But to do from your home, to work online, I moved here from Canada. That's what I did for a living for several years. I worked online for my U.S. and Canadian clients.